Peace, love, and light. It's Ashaki and the True Lioness. And this video is one that it didn't just come to me, even though I am a bit random at times. But it's something that I feel it you know, should be discussed. And I'm going to share my personal story as far as dealing with this issue. So I build with a lot of people online, and the majority of the people that I'm connected with, they are very into what it is to be an African in this country. They Pan-Africanist, they RBG, they, most, all some of them are just on a spiritual level, but they know and understand, or and overstand and understand exactly who they are. They are very knowledgeable as far as our history. They're very knowledgeable about the social climate of this country and abroad, the African diaspora, and all things, in telling that we kind of bounce information off of one another. I gain a lot of knowledge and, information from them. Many of them are very wise, wise beyond their years. So I'm blessed in that regard. But there are some people that I know personally and online that have not fully come into themselves, and they still are not accepting of themselves, and they still are focusing on the colorism issue. And by colorism, I mean this team light skin, team dark skin. I'm mocha, I'm chocolate, I'm vanilla, I'm whatever, but you're still an African. But we come in all shades. But there are some people, they still want to place the lighter ones on a pedestal. They still want to say black girls are not as pretty. We may not be as intelligent. We may not, darker skinned women. I mean, not black women, but darker skin. We not as pretty, or we pretty for a black girl. And it is so disheartening. And for me, my children are pretty much, different shades of brown. And one of my two daughters in particular, one of them is fair skin and one of them is chocolate. But and I know they probably have already been exposed to some of that, and personally, family wise, they have. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share um, some things that happened to me growing up, and also some things that happened to my children that I have sheltered them from. But I'm going to adjust my seat a little bit so I can get a little bit more comfortable. Not slouching, but comfortable. Anyway, so when I was growing up, I did not grow up with my father. I got to see him on holidays and my birthday and things such as this. And it was me and my mother and my stepfather. Now, my stepfather, he was fair skinned. His mother was not. His father was. And all of his siblings were. And my brother, my younger brother, he was born when I was 3 years old. My younger brother was very fair skinned. Very. And from the very beginning, even before my brother was born, I can remember vividly being at my stepfather's mother's home and her saying, I can't believe that he married that black woman with that little black baby. And I said, mm. I knew I was the little black baby, and it wasn't a positive thing. My grandmother would call me her little chocolate girl and things like that. But, the stepfather's mother, it was very negative, the whole energy I got from her. So, you hear that. Nobody tells you, don't pay that any attention. Nobody kind of reinforces the fact that you are pretty, you are whatever. So you just absorb that negative energy and you keep going. So when my brother was born, everybody was, a new baby brings a lot of attention. I know that now. But as a 3-year-old little girl, I didn't understand. And I remember my stepfather's family talking about how fair he was. ooh, he's so fine. Ooh, he's so fine. And I'm like, I remember my brother probably was about 6 or 7 months old. I got in my mind, I said, you know what? A child knows when they don't feel welcomed, and I didn't. And I said, I'm running away from home. I packed a little bag, and at the time I had a big wheel. If you know what a big wheel is, it's a plastic tricycle basically. It's got one big wheel in the front and two little wheels in the back. And I got on there and it was a Cabbage Patch. I was all about Cabbage Patch when I was younger. And nevertheless, I got on that big wheel and I went to my friend's house who lived about 2 blocks away. And I stayed there until it was dark. Got in a lot of trouble because my family was looking for me. Nobody knew where I was. But I knew then that my brother was more favored because he was lighter. Now let's fast forward. I'm a little girl. I'm growing up. When I was growing up, girls would be in pageants. A few girls in my neighborhood, they were in beauty pageants. My mother never entered me in the pageant. My mother never told me I was pretty, beautiful, cute, nothing. My mother would tell me, you are smart. And when it came to my looks, she would say, you'll pass. That's just what she said. And so I took that to heart. If my own mother, now my cat wants to, come on. If my own mother doesn't think that I'm pretty, then obviously I'm not. So I took that to heart. When I got to be about, well, when I went to school, I noticed that all the little, she's up on the table. No, baby. I noticed that all the little, see, I had to just show you her real quick. I noticed that all the fair-skinned girls got all of the attention. They didn't really, I didn't get in trouble because I was very smart and intelligent, and I loved to learn, and I did talk a lot in class, but I wasn't a troublemaker. I was all about learning and growing and doing, and I was always busy. Even as a child, I always had things going on, and but I noticed that the lighter girls, they got extra attention. Nobody really paid me too much attention, which was fine. So, well, it really wasn't fine, but I'm just saying, um, I bear the marks of that. So when I got be about 10, 11, 12, you start noticing boys. And, um, you want a boy to like you like them. And not a lot of boys seem to like me. I had a friend, she was, her father was Puerto Rican. And so she was very fair. She had long hair. And I had a couple other friends that were pretty light. They got all of the attention. And I didn't get any. Or very little, or from someone I didn't particularly like. So, I had another friend and she was darker. She was dark as I was. And I remember her and I would say, we would look at because my body is lighter than my face. That's just what it is. But we would look at our inner arm right here. And we would say, if I was this color, I'd be pretty. How sad is that? To feel as though you gotta be lighter than a brown paper bag to be beautiful or to be pretty or to be accepted or to be wanted or desired. But that is, I remember vividly. And if I see her today, and if I bring that up, she will remember. I know she will. Because we spent a lot of time together. But she and I would say, if I was the color of my inner arm, because it was light, I would be pretty. And I thought she was adorable. She had long hair. I just thought she was adorable, but she didn't. She thought she was too dark. She also came from a family with a lot of light people. So then as I got older, I still struggled with being conscious about being darker. It wasn't until I was an adult, and I mean not a young adult, not in my 20s, in my late 20s, early 30s is when I started to begin to accept myself fully. Because you know what? When I had my daughters, especially, when I had my last daughter, because I have two, but when she was born in 2007, I had to look at that and people would say, that's your twin and she's adorable. I have beautiful children. And I said, surely, if I gave birth to these children, everybody says, oh, they look just like you. If they are beautiful and they come from me, then surely there's beauty here. But I had to learn to love self because, we take the messages and the information that we give our children, we take it for granted. We should be building them up. It is easier, and I think Frederick Douglass said this, it is easier to build strong children than it is to repair broken men. And I look at that in any regard. We have a lot of broken people walking around that were told that they were dumb, that they were ugly, that they would never be anything, never accomplish anything, ain't worth 2 cents. I heard somebody tell me one time that a doctor told his grandmother that he wouldn't give a penny for his life because he was so sickly when he was a baby. What is those words are spells and energy, and you are placing that on the most vulnerable people, our youth. And the colorism continues. We have a lot of people with chains on their brains, and they pass those messages on. So we have to be diligent when it comes to our children and ourselves to be guarded against the nonsense. And I told you I was going to give you an example of colorism issues with my children. So, and this is not to bash her, but this is to make a point. When my daughters, I have sons as well, but this is particularly about my daughters. When my daughters were younger, they still are young, but I mean little, like 4 and 2, 5 and 3, those ages, their grandmother, not my mother, but my ex-mother-in-law would, they would stay with her from time to time. And she would always give my youngest daughter more than she would give my other daughter. One day my daughter came home, I picked them up, and we got home and she just didn't look right. My older daughter, the chocolate drop. That's what I call my chocolate drop. She didn't look right in the face, and I asked her what was wrong, and she said, Grandma doesn't like me. And I said, what? She said, my grandmother doesn't like me. And I said, why you say that? She said that Lily is pretty because she is light, and I'm ugly because I'm dark. Y'all, when I tell you I lost it, I had to give her a full blow for blow about how you approach my children. That is a absolute no-no. I made her apologize, and I told her under no uncertain terms, if that ever comes out of your mouth, and if my children ever feel mistreated, you won't see them. And that's a fact. She's since gotten better, and I appreciate that because she knows I'm not kidding. I will take my children away and she won't see them. And those are her only grandchildren that she has. That's just how serious I take that thing, because my daughter cried about it because she felt bad. And when she was crying and really just in her feelings, I saw myself reflected. But the difference is, when I was going through those issues, nobody told me that was a lie. Nobody said, Ashaki, Andrea, I was born Andrea. Andrea, you are pretty. Andrea, you are cute. Andrea, you are worth everything that you want. Nobody told me that. Not even just so much as far as looks and appearances, but the things I aspired to do. Nobody said that if you want to write a book, do it. You can do it. They will say, you from that small town USA, you get your head out the clouds. How many times have I been told, get your head out the clouds? I couldn't tell you. But guess what? A lot of the things that people told me that I could not do, would not do, not able to do, I've done it. I've written more than one book, and I'm working on another book. It can be done. I have done and done and done. And now that I'm where I'm at now, I understand who I am. I understand my own power, and I totally walk and relish in it. Anytime anybody tells me no, all it does is put more fire up under me to do it. That's it. It doesn't just, I don't get discouraged. And when I do, if I ever feel like, oh, I just can't go on, I pull myself back up and remind myself all that I have done. I was told I would not graduate high school because I had a baby when I was in high school. I graduated with a what they call a star diploma. I had more credits than needed. Great average. I was told that I wouldn't finish nursing school. I finished nursing school 1 year out of high school. I mean, I could go on and on and on, but I won't. I won't, because this is not a bragging session at all. It's just to acknowledge that we have deep rooted issues in our community. And it's painful for me because I see girls right now, young girls, that feel valued only because little boys want to have sex with them or touch them. That's the only love that they're feeling, and that's sad. That is so sad. I'm gonna be quite honest with you. For years, that's all I felt. You know, my body was nice, so that was what I felt. You know, why guys like me is because my body was nice. So my body was mm-mm, not but you know, I had a nice shape, nice figure. That's it. That's all it is. When it comes to the looks, I'm alright. You know what I'm saying? And that is sad. That is sad. And now, you know, I used to feel like I had to dress a certain way and, you know, highlight my assets, you know what I'm saying? But now I know and I understand that it don't even take all that. None of that at all. I prefer to be fully clothed. I prefer my hair to be wrapped up. And if I had my choice, I probably would never hardly ever have my hair out. But, you know, my job doesn't allow it. And until I'm a full entrepreneur, I have to do what I have to do. But, you know, you come into some self-acceptance. But as far as, you know, the images, and then even the images that our children are subjected to when they turn on the television, they see all these people that they look up to, married to women outside of the culture, or, you know, women that are multiracial that don't look like them. Let's just be 100% honest. And it's a little disheartening when you a little black girl and nobody's telling you that you're gorgeous. Nobody's telling you that. And so that negative self-talk continues. And then you perpetuate it yourself because you've been told that so long. Eventually you believe the foolishness about yourself. I learned that, you know, in my own life. A lot of times when you hear negative things in your own head, it's voices from your past that told you that initially, and it's just replaying over and over and over and over and over again. And when I hear it, I say, lies, lies. People can say I'm dramatic. I talk with my hands. I do all that. You can say I'm over the top, extra. I don't care. I do whatever is necessary to keep myself balanced and not in a pit of despair, because I could share some things that could make people just break down and cry personally. And I'm sure you have stories that you could tell me that I would cry about what you've been through. We all been through some things, but I just refuse to be defeated. I won't. I will not. I you know, call myself the lioness for a reason. I see myself as a phoenix. How many times have I burned up, but I always rise out the ashes? And so will you. But You know, I wanted to share that to say, you know, we still have work to do. For the people online and in my life that I know personally that share stories of positivity about our people and our culture, you know, with Black fathers with their babies, and, you know, our women down in Mexico that have just viewed YouTube videos to learn African dance and are sharing that. For the people that's doing work in the community, I salute you. I may not always get to like every post. I may not share every single thing I see, but I see you and I appreciate you, because we need as many positive images of ourselves across mainstream media and otherwise as possible. Because every time you turn on the television, there is negative imagery of us. And for one, I am exhausted with it. I have young children and other people that I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about the state of our people. I'm concerned about what we are subjected to. And I'm concerned about the complacency of those that could do and don't. But for those that are like myself, that do their part as much as they possibly can, I love you. I sincerely love you. I appreciate you more than I can ever say. And I will support. I try to support as I can. And I'm going to be doing more. I'm going to be sharing some things. I got some exciting things coming up, not just because it's 2017 coming up, even though I'm excited about the new year, but I'm excited about every day, because every day I'm trying to give of myself for my people. Currently, just to share before I end this video, I'm working on a health and wellness course. It's going to be 5 modules, a very short health and wellness course. I'm going to share some diet tips, exercise. We're going to discuss meditation. We're going to discuss spirituality. We're going to discuss emotional health. And then we're going to tie it all together, and I'm going to have it all in a compact thing. I'm not the best videographer. I'm not the best photographer, but I'm going to do my very best to give all I can give. Just today I did a class on Medicare plans and Part D coverage and insurance, because I am an agent. And it is important for us to understand how that works, because that's a part of the system and many of our people are already on it. So I'm going full force. I have some smaller projects that I'm going to be working on, some things for teen moms, some things for the indigent. You know, I'm all about working, you know, working and building and doing. But if you out there, like I said, I appreciate you. I love you. Share my videos. Tell somebody about me. Check my blog out. It's wordsofalionessblog.com. Wordsofalionessblog.com. You'll be able to read things, my insight about things, things that happened over the year. We closing this one out. I'll have a new blog post going up pretty soon. And just stay tuned. And I'm going to stay tuned into you. And we're going to raise our frequency, and we're going to be all right. We're going to be all right, because we won't stop fighting. So you guys have a great, great rest of the week. Great coming up weekend. If it's cold and wet where you are, stay warm. Until next time, peace, love, and light.
One for us. All my niggas in the whole wide world. All my niggas in the whole wide world made the song and make it all yours. Time for us. This shit is